Hey everyone, I just returned from Podcast Movement, the largest conference and trade show dedicated to the podcast industry. And I always get a lot of questions about the conference, so I thought, why don't I make a video and just address them all right here? What's the vibe like? And most importantly, is it worth the investment? So as far as I know, Podcast Movement is the biggest conference and trade show for the podcast industry in North America. There's a giant exhibitor hall where you can go and check out different vendors, from the newest microphones and audio interfaces to podcast hosting providers and all sorts of other businesses that are serving podcasters. There's also a ton of talks. I think I counted over 10 stages that were kind of going all the time. But for me, the reason I go is for the face-to-face interaction I get with other podcasters, with other industry professionals, with some of the platforms like Apple and Spotify that Transistor needs to partner with. There's just a lot going on, and what makes it special is the people and the relationships you build with people there. The magic kind of all happens in the hallway and in the exhibitor hall and restaurants and going out for drinks, and just getting to hang out with other people in the podcast industry. It's like you instantly have a connection with all the people there because you're doing the same things. We all love podcasting. We're all either creating podcasts or creating technology that supports podcasters. And you get to hear about what people are working on, what their challenges are, what the new trends are. There was a lot of time spent last year and this year talking about YouTube and how YouTube is a place where more and more people are consuming podcasts. Whenever I come back from the conference, I'm inspired from interacting with people and hearing what they're doing. It makes me want to go create more. It makes me want to do more podcasting. And then on the Transistor side, it makes me want to create the best podcast hosting tool that we can. So for us at Transistor, this year, 3 of us went. It's more than just a conference. It's where we connect with our customers, our partners like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and our peers. We get to hang out with our competitors. A lot of us are really friendly with each other, and other people providing technology for podcasters. And it also gives us a pulse on kind of what's going on in the podcast landscape. What new trends are coming? What are podcasters thinking about? Where are the opportunities? Where are the threats? And it's just like you're immersed in all of that for a week. So to answer the question, is it worth going to Podcast Movement? For us at Transistor, it's certainly worthwhile. We just get to connect with everybody in one place. If you're a podcaster who's pretty serious about improving your show, just being around all of these other people who are serious about the craft and serious about improving the episodes they're putting out, I think you just couldn't come away without being inspired and wanting to make your show better. For creators and industry people, it's kind of invaluable, and just having it all in one place, I think, is kind of magical. There's something about having everybody there that gives it this energy that you just don't get other places. I should mention that this year, it was probably just bad luck, but the resort and hotel that the organizers chose, the Gaylord Rockies Resort, had some problems right before we came. There was a big ductwork collapse in the indoor swimming pool, kind of disrupted the whole resort. They were doing all sorts of construction while we were there. And then there were other things like the fire alarm going off in the middle of the night, and a lot of people had to go outside. The resort was kind of in the middle of a field by the airport in Denver. So actually getting into Denver was difficult. And that's part of the magic, is that in past years, like in Dallas, people could organize parties and have like coffee meetings and organize meetups and go out to restaurants. And we were a lot more confined to the resort this year than we were in previous years. Hopefully this improves next year when it's in Washington, D.C., but that was the one downside to this year, is getting woken up in the middle of the night, and there wasn't as much kind of going on around to facilitate going out dancing with people, even just going out for excursions with friends. I think one of the highlights for me was a bunch of us the first day before people had come. We went to the Meow Wolf exhibit in Denver, which was just mind-boggling and incredibly cool. And I think more people would have taken advantage of Denver if we had been closer and you could just jump in an Uber and, have a 5-minute drive. This was like a 30 or 40-minute drive to get into Denver. So thanks for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your podcasting buddies. And if you had an experience with Podcast Movement you wanted to share, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time I make a video. Thanks.